I've been unraveling piece by piece of myself ever since I became independent. Peace wasn't just something I found, it was something I bought, something I fought for. And even then, it took time. Time for this house to feel more than a shelter, to feel like a home. The only space I can truly call my own. No fear, no control, no emotional abuse, no bending backwards for people who were never going to meet me halfway. Building a life comes with growing pains. Healing is strange like that. One moment you feel triumphant, the next you're curled up in a ball, triggered by the same old selfishness. The same old selfishness that swallowed your entire world. And lately, I've been feeling like an imposter. Like I don't deserve this life. Like I'm pretending. People have tried to shrink my achievements. They look down on them only because it's me. They can't understand how someone like me, or the idea they had of me, can come so far away from a place with no structure, where life stretched out like one long unending day, where the pain of simply existing felt visible, where I existed below bare minimum, no love, no safety, just fear and control and shame. I healed from that place. I pulled myself out. But still, that voice whispers. And sometimes it hits hard. Like, why are you enjoying life? Is this who you are? How you sustain this? Who do you think you are? This week I realized something. I belong nowhere. My life is mine to create. And maybe, as far as life goes, I truly have myself. But that must be enough. I am not inheriting fears or dressing in someone else's expectations. Fear has been the thief of my joy, but no more. Because in my own little world, this is what life looks like. No tears for imagined fear. And while I'm here, I get to choose how I live. I get to want quiet, to love peace, to build a home for my peace, for my identity, for my happiness, and not to apologize for it. I am not an imposter. I am a survivor, and that means everything. I've been failing to record with my phone because my phone's microphone is messed up. I don't know what the problem is. I had to connect it to my PC because my phone also doesn't have a Type C port. It's the generic iPhone port. I'll have to stitch this audio in post. This week has been nice. Today is Wednesday. It was Easter weekend, all of last weekend, obviously. So I had a very rough time, and I'm actually trying to reinvent myself. I mean, before some incident that happened, I was planning on reinventing my life, creating new schedules and stuff, and I did. I have like a new schedule that I'm executing. I'm making sure that every part of my life is not neglected because I've realized that a person finds joy literally in the small things. And if I'm neglecting the small things, the big things just become a mess. So let's say you're upset about something and then your schedule is all messed up, things are not in order. Like maybe you know how it is when you had a long day and you come back home and then you find your bed is unmade, your dishes are not cleaned, adding on to the stress of the day that you had. That's a problem. So I just want to find peace where I am, and the way things are going in Malawi, that's the only thing you can do for yourself at this point. Because I also had a skewed idea of what being alive meant, because I would see people on social media always posting the highlights of their life, and I thought that's what life was supposed to be. So I measured my success according to that. And I've come to realize that no, it's not that. Those people actually script that, and for most of them, they do it for other benefits, because I mean, the fame that will come from them living their life like that also brings them opportunities. I'm just a girl who wants to be happy, because I grew up with a skewed idea of what happiness was, and I was not kind to myself. So to me, what matters is I don't put pressure on myself. I'm kind to myself and everything. So yeah, like I'm saying, Easter weekend was not the best for me, and it also sort of acted as a reminder of why I chose to be independent, why I chose to protect myself, why I chose to curate my life the way I want. I was about to give up on making YouTube videos, and I was feeling like a failure because of some things that happened, because of people who always looked down on me, who always tried to control me. I felt like even though I thought I had run away from being controlled, being unfairly treated, I literally felt like I hadn't escaped. I felt like I was still stuck there, and I was still being affected, triggered by what these people were doing, because the majority of the healing that I've done was so that I shouldn't be triggered by external things. So that means people, situations, and so far in the situations part, I have been making strides. But in the people part, there's some triggers that are triggering unhealed parts of me, or parts of me that I had to heal, that I'm working on. So yeah, it sort of like just brought me back to zero. But then I realized that no, my life is not back to zero. I've made great improvements. I've chosen myself, I've created peace, I've created structure for myself, something that I never really had, and I'm happier than I've ever been. And I've realized that happiness isn't this grand gesture, or it's not this thing you arrive at. It's something you make. So like I was talking about the schedules that I made, I'm making sure that every segment of my life is not neglected, because I was also just sitting depressed, doing nothing, not motivated for anything, not knowing that a simple act of self-care, a simple act of doing chores, a simple act of just sitting and breathing is what fuels you, motivates you to be more productive. So yeah, that's about me, and I have to get ready for work because I'm probably running very late. Hey, you people, L's and R's. That's a Malayan thing indeed. I gotta go. I gotta go. Hi guys. I'm just laughing to myself because the hoops that I have to jump just to get the whole filming setup going. Yo, so an hour ago, my stand, my ring light, it fell apart. Right when I had the motivation to film, it fell apart. And now the lighting was so bad, I tried to use the ring light and I connected it to the laptop. The more I move, the more it switches off. And the other thing is, I have to record with this on my laptop and put it together in post. And then, what else? Yeah, if I move, the light is going off, like I said. Hey, man. I think I'm very passionate about this thing, and I hope people you appreciate. I mean, as much as my channel is a lifestyle channel, right? I also talk about mental health stuff because that's very important to me. And theme of this video, I share stuff like that because I wish I had somebody like me to guide me in a time where I really didn't have anybody, or I didn't have role models to learn from. This whole mental health, trying to be better thing. So I do it for other people, and I just love that. So yeah, it takes a lot to make these videos, but I really hope that somehow, some way, somebody can be helped. And I'm actually in my own house right now because of Sandra PG. Yeah, I used to watch a lot of her videos, and when she was moving and living in her own house, I got motivated because at first I didn't think I had it in me. So because of her, I was like, oh, that's possible. And like I said, I also wanted to learn from people who are going through a mental health crisis, or just who survived something, and there weren't much, and there weren't people like me, Malawians, talking about mental health when I needed. So I hope I am that for somebody. Anyway, so just got from work. I'm heating up my food. I'm also watching a series, a Korean series. I'm into Koreans, like you, but I'm only watching this one for like a comfort thing because I've watched it before. This is probably going to be like the third time I'm watching it. So I'm just watching that because I just want to feel cozy and stuff. And then at 7, I think this is, I don't know, this is 6:38. At 7, I have a work Zoom meeting. Imagine, I have a work Zoom meeting on a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do that just to say something about the mental health. I really had a hard time during Easter, like I've already pointed out, and there are people in my life who thought they still had power over me to control me, and these people, this particular person, is the type of person that doesn't like to see you happy. So when they see you thriving, they see you happy, they'll throw a spanner into the works so that everything just goes bam, like you lose peace and stuff. And being in this house, I wanted to have peace. One of my major goals was to have peace, to have control over my life, to have control over my emotions, which I'm doing little by little, but somehow, somewhere, it really feels impossible because when the triggers come, it hits you like you haven't done any self work. But I know that the more I'm aware of these things, the better. So I'm not really discouraged. I'm actually very proud, and I'm proud of how far I've come, because the trigger also helped me to see how far I've come and not look down on myself and not feel discouraged, and to know that with the decision for me to be independent was actually the best thing that I could have ever done for me. With the information that I had at the time, this was the best thing for me to do. So I'm actually very proud of myself, and taking myself out of an environment that wasn't making me thrive. Because here I'm thriving. I'm able to have a YouTube channel in my own house, in my own space, at my own time. I'm able to indulge, to do my hobbies and everything, have a schedule and all that stuff. So I'm actually very, very happy. These are one of the rare occasions that the reason why I became independent really, really shines, So yeah, it really put things in perspective. So I'm really, really grateful to have the opportunity to stay on my own. So yeah, I think I'm going to close the vlog there. Yep. Thank you for watching.